All right, I shared with you just before the break developments in the Westbury community here in Johannesburg. Ziniko Mhlaba is back online and we go straight to him now. Ziniko, I was sharing with our viewers just some of the context around this recent attack and what's led to protests. But I've also shared some of the history regarding undertakings being made by officials to turn around the crime and drug situation in that community. So just talk to us about some of that history and what's led to this latest issue.
Good morning, Iman. So this is the community that has been, given special focus, especially by law enforcement agencies here in Gauteng, but also by the national office as well. Remember that at some point, Minister Bekele had visited this area to really deal with the issues of crime, especially in regards to gang violence. But also this is a community that has also been mired by gang-related violence. We would find that innocent children get killed, by stray bullets. And of course, there has been that situation or that conversation about whether, police are using the right or corrective strategies to deal with issues in this particular community. And there was a communication at the portfolio, there was an engagement rather, at the portfolio committee meeting with the South African Police Service just yesterday in terms of addressing that incident you mentioned where police officers were peckled with stone when they were trying to do a stop and search operation here in this particular community. And also the response or reaction, from the committee members. They are saying that, well, when it comes to crime, authorities must not just focus on that particular incident. They must really investigate deeper in terms of what are the issues that are really affecting this community. And they're also saying that, well, most of many young people here are unemployed. Therefore, they become vulnerable to any temptations by people who are dealing with drugs, who promise them heaven and earth, and also promise them money should they be willing to distribute whatever material they would like to sell into the community. So those are the deeper issues that are really affecting the people here in Westbury. And I'm joined now by someone who's very familiar with the groundwork in this particular area, Westbury, and that's Councillor Harris. He's joining me now to give us context in terms of what is it that we are missing in terms of having conversations in regards to crime, but also addressing the underlying issues, Councillor, faced by these residents here in Westbury. Crime is a problem, but you don't think that we are using the right approach in addressing it. Please tell us why.
Well, good morning to you and good morning to the viewers. I think the complexity of the issue is not being addressed. We're looking at putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, as somebody has said, because it cannot simply be a matter of the police doing something about it. We need all spheres of government to be involved, and it cannot be that we're working in silos. We need to have the economic department, particularly the labor department, the higher education department. All of them have to come together and look at an integrated plan to deal with this issue. Yes, policing is vital and policing is important, but you've seen with the chasing of the police that there's a trust deficit between the police and the community. The community does not respect the police anymore because when Bekele came here, he promised them heaven and earth. He brought helicopters and boats and horses and donkeys, and absolutely nothing has happened in the meantime. The police do not put bread on the people's tables. They come there with force, and they come there with demanding to have laws enforced. But the people are saying, we want food. We want to live proper lives. We want to live like human beings. But all of that is being overlooked.
Talking about those challenges that relate to their day-to-day basis, then that creates space for people who are dealing with drugs, who end up taking advantage of the situation you just described here. So to what extent should the community's members, activists such as yourself, take up that responsibility to collaborate with police in terms of trying to uproot those elements that are taking advantage of these young people?
I don't think it's a matter of collaborating with police. I think it's the whole economic system providing opportunities to young people. If you were to walk around this area, you will see that there's an emptiness in the people's eyes. Their hopes and dreams have been dashed, and nobody is coming to them with a solution that says, come along, let me skill you up. We're going to give you a job. We are going to ensure that you are earning a wage. And once a person starts earning wages, and instead of waiting for a grant to come, their dignity is restored. So you don't need the police, because then they'll police themselves.
Right.
And I think that is the challenge that we are facing. We're looking at it from a totally different perspective.
All right. Thank you very much, Councillor, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's Councillor Harris there, Iman, just giving us context in terms of some of the contributing factors to the high levels of crime in Westbury, but also saying that, well, there's more than just fighting crime. We also need to deal with issues of unemployment so that young people can be able to live on their own and be able, to resist any temptation that might lure them into any criminal activity. So that's the latest here. We'll continue having conversations, different stakeholders here in Westbury on the ground as we try to find answers to these particular questions.